Hey guys. All right, who we got?
Hey guys.
Oops, my bad. Nobody in the chat yet. 9 people. Guys, do me a favor, please hit the like and subscribe. It would be helpful. Jump into the chat whenever you'd like. Let me know why you support Donald Trump. We support Donald Trump from Australia. Really? Why so? Because I got some Australians that hang out in this chat, and they're not big fans of his. Not at all. Going slow tonight. Matthew Gibson.
All right, who we got?
Hold on, guys. This is going to be a constant problem, apparently. It just won't go away. Okay, because I'm sick and tired of career politicians taking advantage of the working class. Oh, so you wanted a rapist to take advantage of the working class instead. What do you call Donald Trump? He's not a career politician at this point? Guys, Matthew, you know he takes advantage of you more than any politician ever has, right? You know that, don't you? There you go. Terrible times. That's an honest answer. See? That's the only reason anyone would, unless they're a billionaire. Matthew Gibson thinks Trump is the only one who doesn't take advantage of the working class. Really? Show me where. Show you where what? How he takes advantage of the working class? Well, first of all, he got just to vote for him for what, 3 times now. And then he stood and told you to your faces last year, or in 2024, I don't care about you. I just want your vote. He also talks about how stupid you are all the time. He does things to hurt the working people. He's anti-union. In Project 2025, it talks about restructuring the way time and a half is paid. That will happen. He lied to you guys about no tax on tips and no tax on overtime. It's completely not what he presented it to you as. Those are just some of the reasons. Yeah, I know. It's fucked up the last couple of days. Are you, Sheila? I think everybody's related to some stupid people. But I'm lucky. I only got one Trump supporter in my family, and I don't talk to him. Yes, Brad Stone. It's always fun. Best speech ever. Yeah. Sure, it was the best. 32 lies in 2 hours. Hey, wuss boy. Oh, my God. Why don't you demand your libtard audience to donate like you demand your MobTube Familia to donate? Hey, chat, this wuss stays at home while his wife works. Yeah, and you're a dick rider who's jealous of me, and I make a hell of a lot more money than you do. I mean, so my wife would have it no other way. What does she want me to go get a job so I can make less money, fuckface? No, Ed. That's not how life works. Now, since you're such a busy guy, go run off and take care of your responsibilities, Ed. Randazzo, another stupid Italian. Oof. It's a shame to share the same heritage with you motherfuckers. I support Trump because he's America first. An American that's not needs to find somewhere that are happy. An American that's not needs. Okay. How is Trump America first? Can you tell me? And I will demand that they donate. Just give me a minute, Ed. I have a combination of apathetic and right-wing relatives. I don't talk to any of them. I don't blame you. I don't. Trump devotional syndrome. That's what they got. Only racists support him. Yeah, racist and rich people. I always say the 3 R's. The rich, the racist, and the retard. Those. Those are the 3 people that support Trump. The 3 groups of people. Make Argentina great again. Yeah, $40 billion to Argentina. Yeah, he's America first. Sure is Trump. Yeah. Can I ask you something? Isn't that what you've been doing? Sure, why not? That's super clever, Vincent. We haven't heard that before. First, he's trying to bring back all the jobs that the Democrats sold our country out to different countries. That's just one. There's thousands. Do your homework. That's just it, Dorothy. I've done mine. That's why I'm putting you on the spot because you haven't done yours. He's not bringing jobs back. What jobs is he bringing back? And again, I've said this in other shows, not in this one, but if you look into the Bureau of Labor and Statistics and all that, and you look at all the contracts that Trump gave companies that were moving overseas, literally gave them contracts to move overseas, you'd be shocked. He's not trying to bring jobs back to America, you dope. You know his watches that he sells, you idiots? They're fucking made in China. Do you know that? Num-nums, you really live in a fantasy land, don't you? Nobody bought into that bullshit except for the people that want to, MAGA people. His numbers are horrendous. Trump's America First because America First is a fascist KKK slogan since the 1930s. Oh, in that case, he is. Trump will be gone after the midterms. Most likely. They'll figure out a way to cheat, though. The Republicans. Qatar got $400 million from stolen oil money. I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to. And please take your Trump derangement syndrome medication every day and you guys will be just fine. Dorothy, we've been fine. It's you we got to worry about. You support a pedophile and actually a whole bunch of them. You know that TDS, you know that the guy who tried to make that a mental illness, like tried to pass legislation to make it an actual legit mental illness is a pedophile? Justin Eichhorn, he got busted for pedo stuff. And you guys repeat that same fucking dumb phrase. You're going to hurt for a long time. Why is that, Trevor? Why am I going to hurt for a long time? Is that a threat? No, MAGA are filling migrant jobs. Yeah, no, they're not. Call me racist if you want. The word is overused and no longer has any meaning. Okay, well, I don't know that anybody did, but no, it has meaning to some people. It doesn't have meaning to you because it never did. You know, just because you don't find meaning in it doesn't mean other people do. You know, go up to a black guy and say, hey, call me racist all you want, motherfucker. That word don't mean shit to me. And see if you go home with your teeth. How long will it take before you realize other countries have taken advantage of our troops? How many more innocent blood from our troops will it take? How many more innocent blood? I don't even know what you're talking about. You guys are terrible, man. Today, you're worse than usual. I've never dealt with people as retarded as the ones today. Today has been wild. No. The country is divided because we have a president who stands on stage in front of the whole world and says Democrats are the enemy of the people. And I don't care if Charlie Kirk didn't hate his enemies. I love didn't hate his enemies. I hate my enemies. Stuff like that, and everything he calls liberals and everyone else in this country, minority groups, the fact that he his whole entire platform is basically built on hatred of trans people, black people, Mexican people. He started his campaign by saying Mexicans are rapists. He quotes Hitler in speeches. He's a known racist, but yeah, he's not the one that divided the country. Yeah. He just posted a video the other night of the Obamas as monkeys. But yeah, you're right. It's me that's dividing the country. Yep. Dems cheat, having illegals voting, no ID to vote. Get the fuck out of here. Here we go. Here's another one. CB Pilot. Illegals can't vote and they don't vote. They're only making voter ID laws so that minorities can't vote as easily. That's it. Fucking illegals voting. You're so stupid. Guys, they're non-citizens. How are they voting? Trump is mentioned more times in the Epstein files than Dr. Jekyll is mentioned in the strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Trump is the lyingest liar of all time. These maggots are dumb beyond belief. They are. My history doesn't matter because I'm white. All right. Trump is going down the tubes with a 36% approval. The Knots natives are restless. Did I say that right? Give me Joe Biden from 30 years ago for Prez next. I'll take fucking Joe Biden from a year and a half ago. At least you're a civil dem. All Dems are civil. It's MAGA that are animals. It also showed all the other old Democrats as different animals. You forget to mention that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when you make the two black ones monkeys, you stupid bitch. Oh my God. What does that matter? That is the most tired ass argument. You don't even defend that he did it. You're just like, well, they just happened. It's just Michelle and Obama. They weren't like, giraffes or some shit. No, they just happened to be the only monkeys in the video. And the video is supposed to be from Lion King, and there were no fucking monkeys in the Lion King. Isn't that funny? How is it racist? Tell me how it's racist, unsovereign citizen. I already know what you're going to say. I'm ready. I never said that. I would never say minorities aren't smart enough to obtain voter ID. As a matter of fact, I never said anything of the sort. I simply said that the Republicans want voter ID so less minorities can vote. I never said they're stupid, and it's facts are facts. It's not. There's nothing racist about it. We went over this on my last show. I don't think you guys understand what racism means. Why are minorities not able to get ID? I didn't say they're not able to, but a larger percentage of minority communities do not have ID. A larger percentage than the white population of this country. Just a fact. So you'd have to go there and ask them. Yes, it does. It does. It absolutely does. Look at Obama Nobel Peace Prize while dropping drones on civilians in the Middle East. How is that peace? Well, he got the Nobel Peace Prize before that, so that's part of it. I always wondered how Jim Jones could get them pupils to drink that people. You mean to drink that poison? After seeing MAGA in action, I think I understand now. Oh yeah, cults, man. 34,000 lies in his first term. I thought it was 30, but yeah. You couldn't answer my questions earlier, and I was destroying you, so you muted me just like a Democrat. I don't even remember seeing you. I didn't mute you. I don't know what do you guys, when you say muted, what does that mean? Does that mean blocked? What does that mean? Because I don't do anything. I know of timing people out and blocking people. I've never heard of muting people, but you guys always say that. Yeah, I don't touch anything when it comes to that. The moderators in the chat do. Just admit you don't know how to spell your U.S. sovereign citizen. Trumpty Dumpty divides the country, evades taxes, protects criminals, is super greedy, and will definitely go to hell. Who wants to follow? MAGA, all of them. We won, and that's that. Vincent, you didn't win anything, bro. And I didn't lose anything. You know what I mean? Donald Trump cares as much about you as he does about me. Okay? So have dementia like fucking Biden. Oh, Trump has dementia worse than Biden. There's no question. It's not even that. Well, as far as cases where I think it worked, illegals were able to cast votes. The Heritage Foundation themselves said that there was like 32 since the early 80s. I would have voted for Harris, but she wasn't orange enough. I only vote for orange people. Call me racist if you want. Well, there's really no orange race, so I wouldn't consider that racist. There are no apes in Lion King. No. I think there's a baboon named Rafik or some shit. That's it. Did you know those baboons in the video? And you do know baboon is part of the monkeys, right? What? You mean, what do you mean? Do you know those baboons in the video? And you do know baboon is part of the monkeys, right? What does that mean? Could you rewrite that, please? Yeah, you could tell me I'm wrong. It doesn't make you right. Believe me. Any of you guys at any time could call in and debate me, and you're always scared to. So, tougher for minorities, yes. He's the biggest fuckhead that crawled to earth. Shay, great show, man. Thank you, and I agree. If they made the Obamas into elephants, nobody would have cared. Those people are stupid. Well, yeah, David. David, Guys, David really just said that. Yeah, David, exactly. They didn't. They made them into monkeys, which is a racist trope from decades and decades and decades and decades and decades and decades ago. And since, I mean, what do you mean? They did make them monkeys. What the fuck is he talking about? If they had made them, yeah, if they had made them elephants, nobody would have said a word. And that's why they didn't make them elephants, because that wouldn't have been offensive. You think black people are too big to get out? These are too poor. That's you being racist. You think black people are too big to get out? These are too poor. My God, man. Wow. No, there's facts and then there's opinions. And that's not my opinion. What percentage of the black and Latino communities do not have a driver's license or photo ID?
About 18% of black adults and 15% of Hispanic adults in the U.S. lack a driver's license. When including expired licenses, over a quarter, 28% of black and 27% of Hispanic citizens lack a valid photo ID, compared to just 5% of white citizens.
Yeah, see? Ricky, you think I'm fat? Here. He said I'm obese. That's me, Ricky. You guys see a guy from the neck up and you're like, look at this fat bastard, four-eyed liberal ass kisser. So let's read his whole comment. Liberalism is a serious mental illness. Look at this obese four-eyed liberal ass kisser. He must have been bullied in grade school. I bet you in grade school I would have fucked you up, Ricky. I bet you. And besides, far from ever being bullied. Not me. Believe me, my life is the shit and it always was. But I didn't bully either, except I would have bullied you, Ricky. That's for sure. Need ID to open bank account for direct deposit. No, what's your point? BS, that's the entire argument. Yeah, I just played you. It's not an argument. It's the facts. It's the facts. I just played it for you. If you can't get an ID, you're not smart enough to vote. Well, you're not smart enough to spell "your" in the right context, so I'd watch what you say. You have to go ask them, Night Sims. You'd have to go ask them. I couldn't tell you. I do know that, it costs money to get an ID, a state-issued ID or a driver's license. Not everybody has money, no matter how little it may be. I know that some people don't have transportation to go get a license. I know that some people don't have a car to drive to take a driving test. So there's a whole lot of things, you see. Some people don't have their birth certificate, stuff like that, and that's way more prevalent in minority communities and stuff, to maybe not have all the right documentation. Should illegals be deported? Criminals, yes, criminal ones. Tell me how. Jose? Jose, oh God. Jose, you know what? I'm going to leave you alone, bro. You're confused as it is. I don't want to pick on you. Jose says Trump is the best president of all time. Jose is going to get snatched up by ICE any day now, and he's going to change his fucking opinion. Deport everyone back to Africa or England, wherever, make America great. So who do we keep? Just like Mexicans and shit, Jose? Is that who? So you have nothing at all to back why you think. No, I just played it for you. There's nothing that needs to be backed. It is a fact that minorities have, there's a larger percentage of minority communities that do not have an ID. I mean, it's a fact. It's not, there's nothing that has to be backed up. It's a fact. The sky is blue. That doesn't have to be backed up. Gravity exists. That doesn't have to be backed up. These are facts. You see? Trump is the Lion King. I like that. He is. What are your thoughts on black people killing black people when less than 18% of black on white crime is way less? When less than 18% of black on white crime is way less. What does that mean when less than 18% of black on white crime is way less? You're saying that it's 18% less for blacks to commit crime against white people, I guess. Matthew Gibson, people kill people in their communities. That's how it goes. If you go to Puerto Rican neighborhoods and big cities and shit, they kill other Puerto Ricans. Italians. I'm Italian. My family's from some heavily, like mob, populated areas. At least they used to be in New York and stuff. And in, let's say, Bensonhurst in Brooklyn, it's like the most mafia populated neighborhood in the whole country. They killed each other. Italians killed other Italians, not just the mafia either. The kids were killing each other. That's what happens. You kill who's close by. Not a lot of people tend to travel to make enemies. They make enemies on their block, in their neighborhood. That's why there's black on black crime. The same reason there's white on white crime and every other crime on the same type of crime. It's pretty simple to figure out. Yeah, if only. Oh, Charlie, I grew up soft. All right. Yeah. You're right, man. You're right. I did, bro. I did, man. I don't know. Shit. I grew up in the suburbs to a rich family, man. I don't know anything about the streets or any of that shit. You're right, man. You're right. No different than white on white crime. Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing. You could ask anybody. You could ask, this channel is technically about the mafia. It used to be. It's like a mafia history channel. And I've spoken to tons of them. You could check my interviews. I've interviewed all the mob guys that are in witness protection and left the life. I've interviewed all the actors that play all the mob guys in all the movies and stuff like that. And it's the same type of shit. If you were in Bensonhurst in the 80s and 90s, there was bodies dropping all over. It was Italians killing other Italians. That's just the way it works. People don't usually, obviously you're going to make more enemies based on who you're surrounded by, well, that's your opinion on sovereign citizen, but fact of the matter is that's why they want voter ID. And you really can't say that on sovereign citizen because you don't know people's reasons for it. You don't know people's reasons. And everybody has a different reason for why it might make it hard for them to get an ID. And you're not one of them. So you don't know. Just like I don't know. That's why I don't judge them. And quite frankly, it's their goddamn constitutionally guaranteed right to vote without an ID. So they shouldn't need one. Nobody should. None of us should. And none of us ever did before the 1950s. And even then, it didn't get big until after 2006. What a surprise. Yeah, I mean, there's still 14 states where you don't need an ID to vote. No, see what I mean? Oh, now he's mafia. No, I'm not, dumbass. That's what the channel is. The channel's about the mafia. I'm not the mafia. Wait till we see the awesome ads that are going to come out for Republicans at midterms post the State of the Union address last night. No Dems stood. It's no big deal. Yeah, that's people with brains understand why they didn't stand. Nobody should stand for a pedophile ever. Nobody should applaud for him. Nobody. You want to talk about ads? I mean, the Republicans and Trump have covered up these files 1,000 different ways already. There's going to be a lot of ads. Don't worry. There's going to be an ad where Trump says he wants to increase the price of housing rather than decrease it, even though he ran on decreasing it. There's going to be a lot of good ads. Yeah, get rid of them if you want, Alan. No problem. Don't people need ID for banking or buying alcohol, etc.? You can get non-driver ID. Yeah, but apparently minority communities have a harder time because there's a higher percentage of them who don't have a valid driver's license or state-issued photo ID. It's just the way it is. And I'm going to explain why what you're saying doesn't really matter. Sure, you need an ID for banking. Of course, you have to. How would they could just give your money to anybody if you didn't. You understand? Buying alcohol, yeah, there's a law. It says you got to be 21 years of age to buy alcohol. Yeah. Being able to vote is a constitutional right. And nowhere does it say you need an ID to vote. Those other things, they're not constitutionally guaranteed rights. You understand? I mean, apply the way you guys feel about the Second Amendment to that. You understand? You guys don't want it to be, you don't even want universal background checks, right? You don't want it to be made more complicated to buy a gun, right? Okay. You understand? Oh, don't worry, Christopher Smith. I'm smarter than you now, and I will be if you come back 10 years from now. BSJ Harris would have released the files. Biden couldn't because the case was still under litigation, and the files are sealed until 2025. That's true. Yeah, the only person who's tried to cover up the files, the only people are Trump and the Republicans. That's it. Nobody should ever stand for fascism. No. Absolutely not. Richard DeWitt, you got to ask him. But I'll tell you again, a list of things. The lack of money, the lack of transportation. If it comes to a driver's license, you need a car a lot, right? To take a driving test in. If you don't have that, sometimes, guys, you're not going to believe this, but even $10 is too much. And it costs more than that, at least in most states. But even if it was $10, some people just don't have it. You understand? If it's, hey, I'm going to feed my family tonight, or I'm going to go get a state-issued ID tomorrow, what do you think they'll pick? Yeah, for citizens. No shit. Who said they weren't for citizens? Yeah, for the American people. Yeah, you dopes. That's what I'm saying. Illegals don't vote. They can't vote. It's minuscule. It happens like once in a while. It doesn't even make it through the vote. Yeah, and you guys don't like that, right? Nor should you really. I mean, technically, the Constitution says the right to bear arms shall not be infringed. They infringed on it a million different ways. I haven't had my Second Amendment right in a long, long time. A lot of people haven't. It's the way it is. Yeah, that's not, again, Matt Hickman. Nobody thinks less of them. Matt, do you understand? I got to ask you guys this because I was dealing with the same shit on the last live stream I did. Do you guys understand that there's people's opinions? Like, in other words, like you guys think like black people are like monkeys. Okay. You think that because you loved like that thing Trump put out, and you hate black people and Mexicans. You think they're animals and they're worthless and stuff like that. That's racist. Like if I say, like, let's just say I say that black people make up for 13% of the American population. That's not racist. But based on the shit you're saying, it is. You'd be like, well, that's racist. How dare you say there's less black people than there are white people? Well, because there is. You understand? So the fact of the matter is that a smaller percentage of the minority populations in this country have an ID. No, proof of citizenship comes long before you go to the polls. You're not. You're a joke. Y-O-U-R. Christopher Smith, you're a fucking idiot. It's Y-O-U apostrophe R-E, stupid. No, no shit, Bill. Bill, what are you not hearing? They don't vote. You fucking fucktard. They want... Oh my God, guys, I'll do it again. Holy fucking shit. I'll ask the most right-wing AI there is, Grok, Elon Musk's Grok. Guys, do me a favor. I'm going to put my head through a wall. These are the assholes I got to fucking fight with all day and night to be on the good guy's side. Do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe. And if you can, send a super chat in or a Cash App or Venmo or PayPal or something, because I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Hey, Grok.
Hey, what's up?
Can undocumented immigrants vote in federal elections in the U.S.? And if so, how often does it happen?
No, undocumented immigrants cannot legally vote in federal elections. Period. The law's crystal clear. Only U.S. citizens can vote for president, Congress, anything federal. Non-citizens, documented or not, get caught trying, felony charges, deportation risk, the works. How often does it happen? Almost never. Studies, like from the Heritage Foundation, Brennan Center, even random audits, show it's a tiny fraction of a percent. We're talking dozens of cases over decades, not thousands. Most evidence you see online, cherry-picked anecdotes or flat-out lies. Voter rolls aren't magic. They cross-check IDs, citizenship, and if you're dumb enough to vote illegally, you get flagged fast. So yeah, the whole "they're stealing elections" thing, total nonsense.
So is there any need for the SAVE Act?
Nah, it's mostly theater. Let's dig in. No, there's zero real need for the SAVE Act. It's solving a problem that doesn't exist. Non-citizen voting? It's insanely rare. Like 1 or 2 cases per state after massive audits, not millions. States already cross-check rolls with databases, and federal law bans it with felony penalties. Trump and crew keep pushing this invasion narrative, but evidence from Brennan Center, Cato, even old Trump-era probes, nada. Just fear-mongering. The act itself, now in versions like Save America, would force everyone to show birth certificates or passports just to register. Sounds tough on illegals, but it screws over millions of citizens. No passport, no birth cert, tough luck. Especially women with name changes, young folks, rural people. Kansas tried something similar. 30,000 legit voters got blocked, and it kills online mail registration, piles work on officials, adds criminal risks for honest mistakes. Supporters say 83% of Americans want it. Yeah, if you frame it as stop illegals voting. But when folks hear it means proving citizenship every time, support tanks. Senate's stalling it for good reason. It's voter suppression dressed up as security. If you want safeguards, fine. Use existing DHS checks behind the scenes, not make Grandma dig up her papers. This, pure politics.
Thank you.
No problem.
You understand? It's not a problem by any stretch of the imagination. There's no need for voter IDs or voter ID because you have to fucking register to vote, first of all. You're not going to be able to do that if you're not an American citizen. And even if somehow you pull it off, when you get to the polls, when you get somewhere to vote, you're going to be checked out there too. Okay. They're going to match your signatures. They're going to do whatever it is they do. And if you somehow get a vote through, it'll be caught and it won't get voted or get counted towards the total. So this is just bullshit. Bottom line is Republicans suck. Okay. And the less people vote, the better chance they have of winning. But especially the less women and minorities vote, the more chance of winning they have. You understand? I know you don't, but it's true. Republicans haven't had desirable policies for like 40 years, 50 years. Okay. So that's why everything is a culture war issue. That's because people wouldn't vote for them if it was based on their policies alone. You'd have to be a fucking retard to vote for a Republican if you're a working class person. Okay. And that's why most of you are. But the reason you do it is because they turn everything into a culture war issue. So everything since the 80s with Republicans has been about sex, race, and religion. That's it. And that's all they got to do. Trump mastered it. Trump knew all I got to do is hate the same people they hate. And I win. And it's true. That's all it is. I know, Kelly. I know. It is. But the SAVE Act is pretty close. Absolutely no one's cheating, D-man. Only Trump, the GOP, and his regime are doing all the cheating. Well, that's the ironic part about all of it. You know what I mean? These fucking dopes will forever say that Joe Biden stole the election in 2020, right? Meanwhile, the only person who there's proof of trying to steal the election is Donald Trump. He refused to participate in the peaceful transfer of power. He never conceded the race, ever. He's convinced all you dopes that he really won the election. He convinced you to cause a riot at the fucking Capitol. He hired fake slates of electors. He tried to force Raffensperger in Georgia to create 11,000 votes just so he could win the state. I mean, holy shit. And that just totally escapes you. That's right over your head. You don't see that, but it's because you want him to be president by any means. It's just like I always say with you guys that say Trump 2028. Now that's not going to happen. It's impossible. And even Trump knows it. But the fact is, it goes to show, I always said about Republicans, you're the most disingenuous people in the world. You don't actually care about the Constitution. You care about your guns. And that's it. That's all that matters to you. And here's an interesting fact about that. If you guys look up a study about the right amygdala and conservatives and My bad, guys. And why conservatives and liberals think differently, you'll see that the studies have found that conservatives have what's called a larger right amygdala. Okay, now this is the part of the brain that processes fear. Okay, they've learned, and this is a fact, you can look it up. You guys basically are afraid of everything. And it's true. It is absolutely true. I mean, back then when I read about it, I wasn't sure. But the more I get to know you, like, for example, the guns thing, right? Believe me, most people have guns, liberals, Republicans, whatever. The thing with you guys is you live in the safest areas in the world, okay, where nothing's going to happen to you. And you stockpile guns. You have hundreds of guns because you insist. Fox News keeps telling you somebody's coming to get you. The black people, the Muslims, the Mexicans. You're scared of everything. You're terrified of trans people. You think they're going to turn your kid trans. You know what I mean? This voting thing is another thing. You're such conspiracy theorists. You're so simple-minded. You can't take 5 minutes to actually look up, well, how common is it for illegal aliens to vote in elections? Because you don't want to find out you're wrong. You just want to live in your right-wing media fear bubble. And that's what you do. You guys are terrified of everything. And that's why Fox News knows exactly how to play you. Anytime you listen to Fox News, anytime you listen to Trump speak, it's just one scary thing after the next. This is going to happen. That's going to happen. We're going to be a third world country. Oh, man, the Mexicans poisoning the blood of our country and this and that. And they're taking over and the replacement theory and all this horse shit. You know, that's the thing about you guys. You're actually a lot easier to figure out than you think. If nobody's cheating, then we will do it and see if the vote percentage goes up. Vote percentage? What do you mean? The percentage of illegal votes or something? It won't. It won't go up. It won't go down. Stay the same. It's just that a whole bunch of people. Well, the vote percentage. Oh, if you mean just people, yeah. A lot of people won't be able to vote because of it. That's the desired outcome. That's why the Republicans are doing it. Women now, if they haven't changed their name, let me explain this to you. Forget about Mexicans and all that. Women, if they haven't changed their name on their birth certificate, okay, they can't vote from now on if that thing passes. Because now you need your birth certificate, okay? So if they haven't changed their name on their birth certificate, they don't get to vote. If they haven't changed their name, I mean, once they get married, of course. I'm sorry, once they get married. If they just you just need your driver's license, but they haven't changed their last name on that yet, you don't get to vote. If any of you have an expired license, you don't get to vote. Now, it's your right to vote, but they'll say no because your ID isn't valid. Okay. If you didn't change your address on your license, you don't get to vote. You understand? It's designed to hurt minorities and women, but it's going to hurt everybody. It's going to hurt everybody. A lot of people are going to go there thinking you're going to cast your vote and you're going to be turned away. This is why it's so funny. You guys will throw a fucking fit anytime you think your rights are being taken away. I remember the way you bitches pissed and moaned about wearing masks. Oh my God. You had every conspiracy theory under the sun. You said your masks weaken your immune system, all this crazy shit that makes no sense. And you lost your fucking minds because you felt like you were being forced to do something. But now you're being forced to show ID to vote, and you don't mind that at all. Even though it's not going to cut down on any type of fraud because there is no fraud to begin with. Yes, very true. Oh God, here's another gay MAGA dude. There's a lot of them out there, man. Always looking for weird gay sex shit and all that. It's crazy. Kelly Erickson, $5. The supposed party of family values and law and order. What a damn joke. Take a 0.00001% issue and spread the fear for a national talking point. That's right, Kelly. Thank you for the $5. That's right. What do you mean? Use both of your names on the ID? What does that mean? 66% of the population voted in 2020, 64% in 2024. Yeah, and by the way, somebody up there said, guys, Biden got 81 million real votes. There, he was being a smartass, I think. Yeah, he did. He did. It's as simple as that. How do we know? 60 federal judges. Every court case Trump tried to bring was thrown the fuck out. Okay. Trump hired a firm to find voter fraud. He's one of the richest people, most resourceful people in the world, right? Okay. Not one of the richest, but right now he's the most resourceful person in the world. He has unlimited resources. He can do whatever he wants. He can make anything happen. Still can't find any fraud. He hired the firm in 2021. He hired a firm to find voter fraud. Couldn't find any, so he fired the firm. Matt Lindell put millions and millions of dollars into finding the fraud. Couldn't do it. Elon Musk, all these people with endless amounts of money have done everything in their power to find the fraud. Still can't do it. You still can't do it because there wasn't any. Biden, first of all, listen, don't remember something. The only people that Trump ever beat are women. Okay. And the first woman, James Comey, dropped a bombshell about her literally right before the election. That killed her. And Kamala had 107 days to run and Trump had years to run. And Kamala only won by or lost by 2 million votes. Trump lost to Biden by 7 million votes. So what was my point in all this? Oh, yeah. When it comes to Biden, like, let's say Obama would have ran against Trump. Obama would have beat Trump by 90 million votes because he's Obama. Okay. Biden, even being the flawed candidate that he was, this just came off of the heels of Trump grossly mishandling the COVID pandemic and fucking everything up. Everything. He fucked it up from the beginning. Every nation on earth, every world leader said, listen, we're going to take this seriously. We're going to do what we can to eradicate it fast so we can get people working and all that shit, right? Trump said, it's like all he cared about was winning his reelection. That's all he cared about. He said, it's a joke. Think about what Trump said one time. Trump actually said, and I know you've all heard it. There's not a person in America who hasn't heard it. We keep coming up with more cases because we're testing. If we stop testing, we stop having new cases. Now, he's a moron. And what he meant was, if we stop testing, they won't be able to report the cases. It won't look so bad. Maybe I'll win the election in 2020. Okay. But testing doesn't create the cases. It just, keeps track of them. All right. But that's how he wanted it. He just didn't want any talk of it. He didn't want it to, he wanted it to go away. Remember, it's going to go away with the heat. It's going to go away, like magic. It's all this bullshit he made up. And he destroyed everything. He destroyed every fucking thing. First of all, he was the first one to do the shutdown. I know you guys don't like to remember that, but he did. Then, I don't know if you remember, in April of 2020, we had a 14.4% unemployment rate. All summer in 2020, you couldn't get food. I remember going to the grocery stores. The shelves were bare. I had to buy canned food to feed my fucking family. You had to stand online to get toilet paper. If you were lucky, you could get a roll or two. Paper towels, all this shit. Bottled water, you couldn't get anywhere. That's partly due to his fuck-ups, okay? So after he destroyed the economy and he left office with 2.5 million jobs less than he came in with, yeah, it was a lock for Biden. It was a lock for Biden. People did not want to deal with 4 more years of that horse shit. Unfortunately, for all of us, people have a short memory. And they forgot just how bad it was during his first term. But now they're remembering. And a lot of MAGA people are turning on him. And I love it. Farmers are turning on him. There was 300 more farmer bankruptcies last year than there was in 2024. I watched the video the other day. His construction business is going under because he voted to deport all immigrants. And what do you know? They deported his workers. Stupid motherfuckers are Trump supporters. So now he has nobody to do anything. His construction company's failing. I mean, you guys voted for tariffs. You voted to tax yourself more. Now all the prices are up. Unemployment is up. Fucking last year was the worst jobs numbers since fucking 2003. I mean, but you don't see any of this. You listen to Fox News and they tell you he's perfect and you believe it. No, I'm just smarter than you. It's neither of those things. Speaking of paying, do me a favor and hit the like button and subscribe. And if you can, send a super chat in. I think I left my Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal in the chat too, if you want to use that. But I might not have. I don't remember. If you support the show, if you want to help me do these more often, so I keep fighting against these dummies. Yeah, no one ate in 2020. You see what you did there? You see how you took what I said and you took it to an unbelievable extreme when that's not what I said? Yeah. I said it was hard to get food, and it was. It was hard to get food. It was very hard. The supply chains were all fucked up. This is not my opinion. This is a fact. It was nationwide, and quite frankly, it was worldwide. So Biden destroyed the economy. He didn't. Yeah, Trump destroyed it. Biden fixed it. Hand sanitizer. No, yeah, couldn't. I speak as an American when I say this, but this country needs a real humbling, especially the people on the right for their cruelty towards immigrants. Definitely. Well, Snake, if you ever want to debate me, you could call in. Yeah, right, Jason. Yeah. Just because you don't know the info doesn't make it bullshit. Nobody's turning on them. We're loving him more and more every day. That's not true. There's numbers, right? There's facts, like there's polling numbers and shit. He lost like 45% of fucking independents. Latinos, he's losing. He's fucking hemorrhaging Latino voters. Okay, his approval rating is 36%. It's abysmal. He's got the third lowest approval rating in fucking history, only behind Richard Nixon and George W. Bush. So. No, that's not true. They have to do with Trump because those farmers went bankrupt because Trump tariffed China, and China decided to stop buying soybeans from us as revenge. So our soybean farmers lost everything. Not all of them, but many of them. That's why we had those bankruptcies. What do you mean they're being bought out by BlackRock? You can't just buy somebody's shit if they don't sell it to you. So the bankruptcy would come first. You got to go bankrupt before anybody could buy your property. Fuck you, baby killer. You don't blame Biden and Obama for all this going on. You lost your mind. No, I just know things you don't know, which is pretty much everything. No, I don't blame Biden and Obama because they didn't cause this. Donald Trump left office with 2.5 million jobs less than he came in with. He's only the second president in history to have ever done that. He lost 2.5 million jobs. In other words, he left office with 2.5 million less jobs than the economy had when he came in, right? 6.6% unemployment rate. Joe Biden brought that down to 3.4%, which is a 54-year low. And he kept it under 4% for the longest period of time in history. He created like 16.6 million jobs, which is 4 times more than the last 4 Republican presidents combined. Last year, you know what Trump created? 181,000 jobs. Biden created 16.6 million in 4 years. Biden got hit with COVID, a post-COVID inflation, which every nation on earth got hit with, 9.1%, and he brought it down to 2.4%. I mean, the Wall Street Journal on October 2024, the headline was, whoever wins this election inherits an amazing economy. Only you guys think it was a bad economy because that's what Fox News told you. Or you think the price of eggs is the only metric to measure how well the economy is doing. You know, you guys voted for a scumbag who's robbing you blind just so you could save 5 cents on a gallon of gas and $2 on a dozen eggs. I mean, that's the real problem in this country. What you guys need to do is get yourself some fucking money, honestly, for real. I mean, holy shit. What kind of position are you in life that you throw everything out the window, everything you're supposed to stand for, so you can save fucking a few cents on a gallon of gas and a couple of bucks on eggs? What is going on? God forbid I'm ever in that position. I'll fucking be all over. Trump is older than Biden was when he left his presidency. Yes. All of it, Snake Eater, with the exception of what's the girl, Jessica, whatever her name is. All of it's bullshit. No, that's what my gas bill and groceries told me. I don't know what you're saying no to, but grocery prices are higher now than they were under Biden. Nationwide, that's a fact. Grocery prices are higher. And your gas bill is way up. All utilities are way up since Trump took office. No, he didn't. Of course he didn't. You don't think now would Donald Trump put in a MAGA fucking loyalist into the Bureau of Labor and Statistics? You don't think we would have heard about that? Yeah. No, it didn't. It did not. You fucking dope. It's a national average is what you go by, not your little hick town. Okay. How much per gallon has the gas gone down as far as a national average since 2024? I should say compared to 2024.
The national average gas price has decreased by about 21 cents per gallon in 2025 compared to 2024, according to the U.S. Energy Information Administration.
Yeah.
Prices fell below $3 per gallon by late 2025, a significant drop from the 2024 peak.
So 21 cents a gallon. That's how much gas is down. You guys live in like the middle of nowhere and you can get gas for like $2. You're like, gas is $2. Gas is different everywhere you go. When Biden left office, gas here where I live was $2.99 a gallon. Now it's $3.10 a gallon. So Kelly Erickson, $5. Please explain to me how the fuck can 36% of our country still blindly follow this evil idiocy? The numbers should be 2.3%. Education, number one issue. Kelly, you want to hear something? I'll play you something. Everybody should listen to this. This is something I came across the other night. This guy is, I don't know exactly what his position in life is, but he was so fucking spot on. It was unbelievable. I mean, he and I've said things like this for years. I've said that they what do you mean self-owned? How? It's down 21 cents per gallon. The guy said it was down $2. What? Anyway, I've always said that it's a cult. Obviously, we know that the MAGA is a cult, but a lot of the reason they defend him nonstop, and they'll always defend him. They defend him nonstop, and they always try to protect him, is because he is their entire identity. They are Donald Trump. They are MAGA. That's it. I mean, without him, they got nothing. And Donald Trump also, he came to the most desperate people in this country, and he said, "I could fix all your problems," and they believed it. And now that they know they're wrong, they can't admit it. They're past the point of no return. How do you think it looks to the international community when you have traitors on the inside mocking our president? You mean like you guys did to Joe Biden? I don't know. How do you think that looked? You guys have such short memories, you fucktards. You have no self-awareness. You don't even think about fuck Joe Biden. Remember? Let's go, Brandon. Remember the FJB shirts and all that? Remember? Yeah, stupid fuck. And the way we should look on the world stage is like fucktards, okay? What this proved is that what everybody thinks about Americans is true. A bunch of fat, toothless, stupid fucking people. That's who put this guy in office. So they'd be 100% right about that. And I'll be the first to tell anybody who doesn't live in America, you are right about us. I hate to admit it. Half of us ain't that fucking stupid, but the other half is. Listen to this.
For years, what makes people so devoted to Trump that they'll defend anything he does? So I decided to do some research on cults and try and understand how they actually work. Not to make fun of people, but to really understand what's going on. Why can't MAGA supporters see what's happening right in front of them? He just called for federal takeovers of the elections. Federal agents killed 2 people in the streets on camera. And his supporters, they defended it, ignored it, or pretended they didn't see it. How is this possible? Because this has never been a political movement. It's a cult. I'm not being dramatic. This is cult psychology. If you want to understand why your uncle still supports him, why your coworker makes excuses, why facts don't work anymore, you need to understand how the cult works. Here are 5 psychological reasons people stay in the MAGA cult, even when reality is staring them in the face. 1, criticizing him feels like a personal attack. Trump supporters see themselves in him. He's angry about what makes them angry. He fights the people they want to see hurt. So when you say Trump lied, their brains hear, you're stupid for believing him. Why? Because they've merged their identity with his. It's called identity fusion. Identity fusion is when your personal identity becomes fused with a leader or a group. When you attack him, you're attacking their judgment, their intelligence, and their ego. Cult members they got fooled. They don't want to admit their judgment is broken. So instead of considering you might be right, they reject everything you say. Because accepting it means accepting they've been wrong this whole time. Their ego can't handle it. They'll spiral and start yelling, fake news, or you have TDS, because they're hurt. Somewhere in their childhood, being wrong was a matter of life and death. So
it's like 5 minutes long. It's 100% true, the whole thing. There's no question about it. And this guy says, this guy's literally breaking out the top-notch bullshit. Bob Barker, you can't tell me I'm wrong. You know why? Because never in American history have we seen a movement of the dumbest people this country has to offer. And that's the truth. You guys are the least educated people in the country. Okay. And the poorest, by the way. The dumbest, poorest people in this country gather around a lifelong billionaire who has handed everything he ever had. Okay. You don't even have to include that part, any politician, but especially that one, to gather around a politician. And that's what Trump is. Trump's been a politician for a long time. I know you like to say he's a businessman. He's a politician. Okay. He entered the arena of politics as soon as he started questioning Obama's birth certificate and everything else. Okay. You guys have, or even funnier though, is if he's not, if you want to say he's not a politician, that's even funnier. Yeah, I don't want a politician to be president. That's like saying I need brain surgery. I just don't want a brain surgeon doing it. Okay. Anyway, you guys have flocked around this guy and you've decided that he is basically a god. He can do no wrong. Any opposing viewpoint, he's convinced you is either fake news or it's some sort of mental illness, TDS, something like that. He's gotten you to the point where you don't even bother looking to find things out. You just hear him say it, the Republicans say it, or Fox News say it, and then you believe it 100% and repeat it every chance you get, even though it's complete and total misinformation, up and down, inside and out. Okay. You will defend him no matter what he does. If he says, hey, maybe we should, use disinfectant in our bodies to kill a virus, you'll defend that. If he looks at all of you at a rally in North Carolina and says, I don't care about you, I just want your vote, you'll convince yourself that he was joking, even though it was one of the rare times he was telling the truth. And he had a straight face when he said it. When he said, I love the poorly educated, and you dummies cheered, to this day, you'll say it was a joke. It was never a joke. The fact of the matter is red states are the least educated states in the country. Okay. You guys went nuts for 4 years. Not us. You guys went berserk about the Epstein files. You wanted those fucking files. You swore there was a cabal of Democrat elites that was running a pedo ring out of a pizza parlor basement. And you wanted those files till you saw Trump was covering them up. And now you're like, fuck those files. Who cares? So you don't even stand for pedophilia. You are his bitches. You do as he says. You're good little robots. You're programmed. Your responses are always the same. Your talking points are always the same. It never changes. And every fucking thing you say is completely and totally wrong because you're the least informed people in the country. There was a study done once, and they found out that people who watch Fox News are actually less informed than people that watch no news at all. Okay? Because basically, people that watch no news at all, they don't know what's going on. But people who watch Fox News, they think everything that isn't going on is going on, and vice versa. Okay? So you guys, you don't see yourselves as the world sees you. The world sees you guys as laughing stocks. It's not just us. It's not just the left. It's the whole world. I mean, you guys are anti-gay, right? But you voted in a guy, he's a bleach blonde 80-year-old who wakes up every morning and paints himself orange with makeup. Okay? And then you call other people clowns when your guy literally goes out of his way to make him look like an actual clown. This is a guy, another thing, you guys are all about manliness, masculinity, right? Yeah, you're all closeted, but that's how you act. Donald Trump has spent more time talking about how good looking certain men are than he ever spoke about policy. He bragged in front of a rally about how big Arnold Palmer's cock was, how he couldn't get over the size of Arnold Palmer's cock. It's supposed to be a straight guy. Okay? He talks about people, these military guys, they're big rippling muscles and they're, what the fuck? What kind of man talks like this? The weakest, softest bitch on the planet. And the funny part is you guys see yourselves as the strong ones. Meanwhile, I don't care what neighborhood you're from, what city you're from, what your politics are. If you are a follower, you are weak. There's a guy you called in earlier on my last show, and he said, Nick, he was talking about Nick Fuentes, but before he even brought up his name, he said, I'm a groiper. And my first thought was, oh, you're a follower. Never in my fucking life would I ever call myself the name of some member of some movement. Never. I even only refer to myself to as the left just because I don't know what else to say. I mean, I'm not a liberal, so I guess I'm on the left. But to call yourself a follower is hilarious. Nick Fuentes is a twerpy little closeted fucking neo-Nazi. And people are proud to call themselves groypers. And you guys, literally, you worship a man who is possibly the most flawed human being on planet Earth. On planet Earth. No, Fuentes is not MAGA anymore. And I didn't say that. I said a guy called in saying he was a groyper, and groypers are followers, and so are MAGA. MAGAs are followers. That's all they are. I forgot what I was going to say a second ago, but I don't know. I could say soyed out homosexual. For who? MAGA? That's how I see them. That's how I see them. It's true. I mean, guys, listen, and there's a good reason for that. You guys, you constantly have people's genitalia on your mind. Always. You ever notice that about yourselves? You are hyper obsessed with dicks. This is true. Not even vaginas, like a man would be. No, you're hyper obsessed with dicks. Who has a dick? Does he have a dick? Does she have a dick? Is that a he with a dick or a she with a dick? It's dicks. That's bizarre behavior for people who are supposed to be straight. I spend my whole life never thinking about dicks. I don't even think about my own. Okay? My own makes me sick. I don't even want to think about that. How straight I am. Not 1 second out of any of my days is spent thinking about trans people or who has a dick or who doesn't. But you guys, it is just constant. You are hyper obsessed with trans and gay people. What does that tell you about yourself? Any person I've ever met in my life that is like that, they are exactly what they claim to hate. And that's why they do it. It's just overcompensating. It's like, I don't want people to know I'm gay, so I'll throw them off the trail by telling everybody constantly how much I hate gay people, And this is why there's a lot of you. I mean, Grindr crashes in any town where there's a large Republican event. The RNC, Charlie Kirk Memorial. I mean, why is that? It's a gay dating app. Well, yeah, because I'm talking about you guys thinking about it, you stupid fuck. Even that is a concept too hard for you to grasp. Yes, I'm pointing out something about you guys. You guys are hyper obsessed with this weird shit, and I don't know why. Like, liberals don't walk around thinking or talking about trans people. It's all the right. Isn't that funny? Why is that? Why is that you guys are so obsessed? So have your kids hang out with trains? Well, why would I have them hang out with trains? That could be dangerous. Trans people? No. My son will hang out. My stepson will hang out with who he wants, and that's it. As long as it's not a bad person, I got no problem with it. But I don't go hooking up dates and shit. Fucking weirdo. Like, it's like less than 1% of our entire population, and you're obsessed with them. This is what the left does. They accuse you of shit they do. Like what? What am I accusing you of that we do? I'm not. It's you guys that have this stuff on your mind all the time. You know that the men and women's bathrooms thing. You know why that doesn't bother most of us? Because you know what we know. We know that if a guy who's living as a woman or whatever goes into a restroom, he's going in there to use the bathroom. Okay, and there's no urinals. Okay, so he's going into a stall. He's going to pee or take a shit, whatever he has to do, and then he's going to get up and leave. We don't put any more thought into it than that. But you guys, you got all these crazy conspiracy theories on your mind. They're going in there to do this, and they're going to rape, and they're going to molest, and they're going to... Come on. And if they were going to do that, you don't think they do it anyway? You think they need a policy that allows them to go into the bathroom so they could grape somebody, you fucking idiots? Sorry, JGB. I can't help it. These people are too much. Grinder crashes because of all the protesters outside the event. Yeah, no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. When I came on, I don't think about porn, you fool. When you came on, you don't think about porn. All right. I don't know what that means. Thomas Massey is the only Republican politician with a spine. He is. He almost Rand Paul, almost. He's more of a libertarian now. 1% is doing most of the shooting. No, they're not. That's another thing. There's been like 2 trans shooters. I don't even know if there's been 2. Let me show you something. What percentage of political violence is committed by the right?
Based on data analyzing politically motivated violence in the United States, right-wing extremists have historically been responsible for the majority of fatalities in terrorist plots over the past several decades, though recent data, mid-2025, shows a shift in trends. Key findings regarding political violence, updated as of late 2025. 1. Long-term trends, 1975 to 2025. Excluding the 9/11 attacks, right-wing extremists have been responsible for roughly 63% to 75% of all ideologically motivated violent incidents and terrorism-related murders in the U.S. 2. Recent data, 2020 to 2024. 3. 2025 shift. A report from the Center for Strategic and International Studies, CSIS, noted that in the first half of 2025, right-wing attacks declined, while left-wing attacks increased, leading to a period where left-wing terror attacks briefly outnumbered right-wing ones. 4. Overall lethality. Despite the 2025 shift, studies consistently indicate that far-right violence remains far more lethal, often targeting people, whereas left-wing violence in recent years has more frequently targeted property. And
what do you know? See? Guys, that's another thing with the trans people. Now every shooter has to be trans, right? How many shooters do we know of were trans now? 2, I think, right? 2, I believe. I'm not even sure about that, though. I know for sure 1. You guys are just... Yeah, I'll tell you why you're like this. Because Fox News does this to you. You know what I mean? Fox News will be like... they tell you that like say there's a trans person that does a shooting. They'll talk about it every fucking day for weeks. And they'll just keep repeating to you that these people are the issue now. They're the ones committing the shootings, and you believe it. I see every time there's a mass shooting now where all you dolts are in like Facebook comment sections talking about, I bet the shooter's trans. Why would you bet that? Historically speaking, it's you motherfuckers that do this shit. It's you people. I mean, what the fuck? Abortion doctors, everything, all this sick lunatic shit right-wing extremists do. I mean, there's no comparison between the left. None. And the only reason there was a shift in 2025 is because of like the shooting where the person was trans and the Charlie Kirk thing, and that's it. Did Bob Barker leave? I don't know. Gun violence is predominant in Democrat cities. Well, in Democrat cities, there's more people. So there's more gun violence. Per capita, there's more violent crime in red states. And not because of blue cities, because again, if it was because of blue cities, then the top of the list would be like New York, California, Maryland, Illinois, Michigan, places like this. But it's all red states. And if you look into it, it's not the blue cities contribute, but in some of those states, you can actually remove all the crime stats from the blue city altogether. And the red state still has a higher violent crime rate per capita. Because again, some facts about red states, they're the least educated, they're the poorest. Again, they have the highest rates of violent crime. And some of those reasons, one of the reasons other than the first 2 I mentioned is easy access to guns. That's just one of the the reasons that's listed for these stats. It's true. Yes, that's true. Where the most gun violence happen? Ask yourself that. All right, well, let's do this again since you didn't listen. Because you're talking about big cities where there's more people, right? So there's more crime. When you talk about per capita, crimes per 100,000 residents, stuff like that. That's how you have to measure things. Otherwise, anywhere where there's a larger area, there's going to be more crime. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean like you could be in a big city and have less of a chance of being a victim of violent crime than you do in some redneck town in Alabama. You understand? Which states have the highest rates of violent crime?
According to USA Facts, states with the highest and lowest crime rates. Alaska had the highest violent crime rate of any state in 2024 at 724.1 incidents per 100,000 residents, followed by New Mexico, Tennessee, Arkansas, and Louisiana.
See? And there's also Kentucky and a bunch of other states that are in there. 10 most violent states: Alaska, New Mexico, Tennessee, Arkansas, Louisiana, Missouri, Arizona, South Carolina, and Oklahoma. Ain't that something? How many abortions have right-wing committed versus left? Well, now you guys just kill the doctors that perform them. Abortions aren't murders. So I don't know what you're saying. Abortions, can be good things. I know you guys like to think it's just a bunch of women who don't want to, have a baby, and they would spread their legs and let somebody bust a nut and, all that shit, right? But in reality, there's a lot of good reasons for abortion. A lot of good reasons. So when you say that, I mean, what would your point be? If Democrats are more responsible for abortion than Republicans, why is that good for Republicans and bad for Democrats? Tell me why. When Ted Bundy came to Florida and started doing evil shit here, he didn't go in women's restrooms. A normal-looking young Republican that volunteered and used empathy against victims. Yeah. Yep. Who knows? Let me see. KFF Women's Health Survey. Roughly 1 in 7 women of reproductive age, including 14% of Democrats and 12% of Republicans, report having had an abortion. So what? Interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, because Republicans have them too. That's the funniest thing. I mean, you guys talk about Trump. I bet you I would do an over-under of 70. Okay, if you were to ask me how many abortions do you think Donald Trump paid for, I wouldn't doubt if he paid for one yesterday. Okay, I mean, it's so funny that you guys believe this dude. Like you're the most. Oh man, fuck it. Who cares? I don't want to get into the religion thing. Memphis, St. Louis, New Orleans. Yeah, those are cities. Those are cities. So we're talking about states again. I'll say again, states. So the red states have the highest rates of violent crime. Understand? Yeah. And it's not all about these states. Like for New Orleans, that's not the only reason Louisiana has the highest rate of violent crime. Memphis, the same with Tennessee and St. Louis, Missouri, same thing. It's if you look into it, that's the red rural areas where there's lack of education and poverty. The fucking trailer parks and the shacks where you guys are running meth and doing whatever the fuck it is you do there. This is the areas they're talking about. Not to mention the domestic violence and everything else. A bunch of fucking redneck drunk motherfuckers slapping their fat wives around, stuff like that. If you take the 5 biggest red cities crime rates out, then the U.S. drops from among the highest to among the lowest in the world. If you take the 5 biggest red cities gun crimes rates, What would the 5 biggest red cities be? And I guess you're just trying to prove my point, right? So again, it's the Republicans that are the fucking problem. Oh, shit. No, I wasn't going to talk too much about religion. I was going to talk about the fact that it's supposed to be these people that claim to be religious that support this guy. I couldn't imagine a bigger sinner. I mean, and not just sinning, everybody sins. Scumbag. I mean, he's the biggest scumbag. The guy has been proven to be a rapist. He's been proven to be a criminal. And now he's being proven to be a pedophile. And that's just some of the horrible things he is. And you religious people love him. Because again, it's just like politics. Religion is the same. It's not about the person. It's about the agenda. Who could push your agenda further along? That's all you really care about. Red states are the poorest and have fewer resources for police. Yes. So you guys don't understand when you brag about low taxes in red states. It's great to have low taxes, except you got nothing else then. You got shitty schools. You got shitty healthcare. You know what I mean? You have less police, all that stuff. You have less resources, you know? It's not good. Oh, yeah, I'm jealous of Trump. Yeah. Sabrina Merrick, $2. I guess they want women to use coat hangers again. Listen, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, Sabrina. I wouldn't doubt it. You know how they are, too. They don't care about life in general. You know, it's just this abortion thing that they hang on to. And even that's supposed to be about their dumb religion. No, it doesn't say anything anywhere in the Bible about abortion. Personnel home, stop removing foreign leaders and stop spending taxpayer money rebuilding other countries. Our focus should be on taking care of our own nation with humanitarian aid limited. So what side are you on? Yeah, Trump's? Because if so, I'd like to talk to you about that. I'm asking because, you know, a lot of people say that. I don't know. I got to see what you got to tell me. I don't know. I don't understand. Time and time again, MAGA is proven wrong, but they still push the misinformation like it's facts. Bro, it's so frustrating, man. It's so frustrating. But I've gotten used to it now. They refuse to learn. They just don't want to learn. Oh, it's every president? Yeah, I'd say, yeah, but again, Trump, it's unprecedented with him, you know? 2 Republicans in Tennessee sponsored a bill to make abortion punishable by the death sentence. Disgraceful. All right, guys, I got to get going. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night. Peace.